The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Hey everyone, I'm back. Took a bit of a hiatus for a bit, had work and stuff to do. Well, not like traditional work, but I did have some work to do on some things, and MS being problematic, and then my cat got sick and almost died on me. Literally, the symbol of Alikat comics almost went and died on me. I would have been very, very annoyed. But that being said, I'm here today to work on a commission of Cheetara. And this is the father of one of the members of the D&D group that I run. Purchased this for his wife, which I guess she loves Thundercats and loves Cheetara. So I'm going to get going. And as usual, start with a blobby. Then I do the drawings, and I'm done. Well, it's a great show. I'll talk to you all later. Let me get in and do more detailed work on this. Kind of start to get things going. And I have, on my other monitor here, which I'm looking at currently, I have the Thundercats symbol, because I knew kind of what it looked like, but there was no way I was going to be able to draw it just out of memory. So I'm trying to rough it in. Since it's mostly a silhouette, I can get away with a lot of it. So I hope everybody's having a great set of holidays that are coming up. I'll be spending Christmas with my mom. And probably with some friends later that evening. Kind of a Christmas tradition. Used to be go to the movies, but really nothing coming out that I care about. I mean, I go see Aquaman, I guess, but why would I do that? It doesn't look that good. Probably being too hard on it, but hey. It has a slightly more round to it. Not that it needs to be perfect. I mean, it is my interpretation, so. This is more curved, though. I think it kind of goes like this. Now, I do a lot of my sketching digitally. What I'll do in the end run for this, I'm actually going to ink it traditionally. I'll print it out at a low opacity and probably in red. Then I'll ink it, and I'll do my grayscaling over it. So we'll have kind of an interesting look to it. At least I hope it'll be interesting. So I can kind of show what it'll look like. Great if I did this beforehand. But no, that would require me having forethought. Okay. So specifically going to be trying to. This is how I did these. I will embiggen me into solo. Okay, so this is kind of what they'll end up look like in the long run. It's Optimus Prime I did. And Soundwave I did. So that'll be kind of a look of what I'm going to try to do. I also have some pieces like this, which are test pages and stuff, where I started working on this, ideas for the manga I'm working on. I'll show some of that later. But you guys came to see me draw, so we will set up and do more drawing. So back to the Thundercats Ho. Kind of it was the 80s. I was just thinking Thundercats Ho. That's Ho. Yeah, that can have a bit of a negative to it in some ways, as I criticize my childhood. Kind of like that. As a wrap. I'll be probably fiddling with this thing forever. So. Bring that up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. As usual, I'm using Kyle's brushes for doing this stuff. These are specifically his manga set. I like the pencil on it. Yeah, I think that kind of gets the point across. That's it. It's my own version of Cheetara, so I can get away with a lot. All right. Oops. No. Back that up a bit. Hello, Steve. I'm very happy your wife's going to flip on this. Fantastic. Oh. Hopefully you saw the whole piece so far. I have to admit that drawing Cheetara was actually kind of fun. I might go back to doing some more Thundercats in the new year. There's a few other things I want to work on first, which next week I'll be drawing Zantana, which is for another commission. So it'll be similar to this. Now then, here's the thing that I'm not sure about with the emblem. Does it have a ring around it? I kind of feel like it should. Yeah, I guess it does have kind of a thickness around it. Yeah, I can make that work. All right. What the? Oh, that would explain that. Wrong one. Don't need it perfect. Just need to give it a good kind of grasp on it. I mean, the emblem's a little off-center to begin with since it's on an edge. So I'm not super worried about the ellipses lining up perfectly. Because I still might go in there and mess with it a little bit. So. That's one of the reasons why I do things digitally, so I can do that easier. Okay. All right. I have some pictures of Cheetara I want to look at. A few different versions are up here. I have like the original. I have some modern interpretations that were done by other artists, not the was it 2012 or 2013 redo. Although this design could be inspired by that a little bit. One of the ones I'm looking at. Because her hair's longer. A little bit more of an anime look. I mean, kind of has anime hair to begin with, but that's more due to the studio that did the opening and everything was an anime studio. Okay, so it looks like she has the spots on the arm that I don't have visible, so I don't have to worry about that. But she does have the spots in her hair. She doesn't appear to get them on her legs. Okay. Yeah, the main goal is to make it so it's definitely Cheetara. That if you look at it, you can definitely see that it's Cheetara. This is my own version of Cheetara, so that's what I'm more going for. Is I want it to be original to me in that sense. Like if I was going to draw her, how would I do it? And this is kind of what I've come up with. I can tell you that women's underwear does not go like that when you wear it, so it goes more like that, more flat. Unless you have a different problem, which we're not going to discuss on the show right now. When underwear does something else. Yeah, so I started working on some Castlevania pieces, and I have a few other Transformers I want to draw too, so those will be coming up in the new year. I'm going to start with Simon Belmont for the Castlevania stuff, and I definitely want to do Alucard. Basically, I'm going to do the cast of the Dracula's Curse, the third NES game, which was the basis of the first series of Castlevania on Netflix. So I'll be doing that. Not blue. I might go back and do some more Thundercats because they're kind of fun to do. I'd like to see how my own variation of Panthro would go. Let's see. Bring up another image of her to have. Oh, that one's pretty well endowed. Don't want to think about the bra she has to wear. Found these chibi ones, I guess, are from Thundercats Ho. I really like to look at the characters. I mean, I understand it's supposed to be kind of kiddie and stuff like that, and for little kids and things, which is fine. I'm just not that interested in it. Couldn't quite get her bracelets. Just do that one. Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes more sense now. I'm looking at her leotard basically, and it looks like that it has one arm is actually like in a sleeve that has like the glove portion on it and everything. The other side is just kind of bare, like more of a bathing suit. So that explains why you can see the spots on that side. Actually having a special on this style of commission that I'm doing because I'm basically teaching myself some techniques when I'm doing it. I'm running these for $50. You get a 9x12 character sketch, and it's basically a full body sketch. I mean, I'll do it in an interesting pose, kind of like this one, and then I do grayscale texturing, and I said I ink it traditionally, so. I have to say, when I was a little girl I enjoyed Cheetara the most as well. So I also liked Wily Cat, I think that was a little girl one. Because, well, I was a little girl. A little bit of fur texture on that. These probably should be more like this. Kind of a feeling of depth. Foreshortening's good on that. Keep that. I get one of the bracelets in. And I probably want to do a little bit of texturing on the staff. Also, my friend Ian has a Kickstarter going on right now for his character Undersea Hero. So I'm probably going to sketch him at some point because Ian's my buddy. And I definitely want to do a picture of the Undersea Hero. Need to get Ian on again. I was talking with my friend Travis earlier, Travis Gibb, about getting him on too. And sooner or later, I'll probably have Dave Finch back on again. I know he's super busy right now. He did a live stream last night, which I missed. I'm a little saddened by that, but I was technically doing some Christmassy stuff with family, so that kind of took precedence. I'll also show a bit of what I'm working on, which Dave did a cover for me for my birthday. That was a really fun stream. Excuse me. It's not every day you get like one of the top comic artists on your channel to draw, so it's just cool. A few other artists I want to reach out to try and make plans with. I was loosely talking with Gail Simone. I don't know her very well, basically just mostly in passing online. She doesn't have any clue really who I am. But I'd like to get her on. Talk to a writer. Sean Galloway is probably going to grace us on an appearance at some point. We've been in talks with that. He was busy last time I reached out to him, so I figure after the holidays I'll reach out a bit more. Get some of the weirdest text messages. Further good news, the Indie Comics Network is now monetized, so people can send super chats and other such fun things like that. So feel free. I won't complain. If you do send a super chat, I don't swear that I will read any stupid thing out loud. That's really not me. If it's funny, I might, but. And yes, I get a share of that money, and no, I probably won't see it for a substantial amount of time because it gets split between everybody, and we have to pay for all of our stuff first. So it goes first and foremost to promoting the channel, which is the most important part, because that's where you get people like me drawing. It's been a few minutes. Save check. Because I'm always a little concerned about things. Bear with me here for a sec. Okay, there we go. I wanted to verify something with the stream. The other thing I want to do at some point is draw Mizu from Blue Eye Samurai. If you haven't seen that show, I highly recommend it. It was utterly amazing. I've watched it through at least 4 times. And as I've been plotting a trip to Japan, which probably won't be till 2026, because it's expensive to go to Japan. I've been working on my Japanese a little bit, and made me remember that Mizu means water, which I thought that was kind of cool, considering she has blue eyes. Darken that a little bit. Maybe she's got a spot there. All right. Works. I got a little bit more done than I wanted to before I started streaming today. Oh well. No big deal. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oof. Carbonation. It's a thing. Drank that a little fast. Hey Jim, thank you very much. Happy to hear that. Looking good. It's like the Noid from Domino's. That's probably making me old. But yeah, I appreciate it. And good too. Jim is a master craftsman himself. I think if I was to color this, I would probably have some fun with this area. I don't know if I would do it as a sleeve or if I'd make it more like skin tone, then have like this being like a gauntlet. I don't know. Think about that. Steve wants to pay me for a color version. That'd be great too. But it's always fun to draw characters. Like, I would never really thought about drawing Cheetara until I was commissioned to, so that's one of the fun things about getting commissions. I get characters I wouldn't really think about drawing. Like, Zatanna I would probably draw. Because she's a wizard, and she has the stage magician look, and I actually studied stage magic for a while. I was a sergeant of arms for the Society of American Magicians, the Boston chapter, for a bit. So, fortunately, work prevented me from really being able to go and enjoy it and really get into it more. So Zatanna definitely has a place in my heart as she acts as a stage magician. And given her father was and everything, so. I also love John Constantine too, so I'd like to draw him at some point. Yeah, if I'm gonna do Constantine, I gotta do Swamp Thing. They found me. Oh. I think that was an ambulance. Alright, so how often my silhouette am I? Pretty on. stayed pretty true to it. Before I get any shit for not drawing feet, I usually do. Besides, where the feet go is where the dust and stuff goes. And, she does move at at least 60-something miles an hour since she's a cheetah. Can I do that? Actually, I might look to see if I have any pre-made smoke effects I can put in. I make a lot of my effects ahead of time for things so I can just slot them into places. It's like when I do backgrounds, I draw these fairly large vistas in different angles, and then I can grab parts of them and stick them into things. Because that's way easier. Actually, I got that idea from Jim Lee, because I believe he did stuff like that when he was working on Batman. He drew a bunch of Gotham cityscapes and then was able to insert them behind his art and stuff. Yeah, let's go with this. This is working. No, at least I like it. Let's get that save. So the commissioner for this, Steve, who posted earlier, said I run D&D on Sundays for mostly kids. When I say kids, they're usually teenagers, but teenagers are mostly kids. His daughter's actually the youngest member of my group. and she's been lovingly referred to as the murder pixie. So yes, Cora is the murder pixie. I think my brother coined that name for her, which is something my brother would do. I think he was listening to her sadistic ideas and went and goes, "Oh, what a little murder pixie." So, and admittedly, she is literally a little me. When I was her age, I was very similar, but taller, and I had dark hair. Probably going to thicken the dust clouds up anyway when I ink it, so I don't really mind these being kind of roughy looking. I'll probably, might add some like floating debris and stuff. Yeah, Fran, how's it going? Glad you could come in. It's good seeing you. I finished up the new Kenshin yesterday. I still have to draw Kenshin. Yeah, definitely have to draw Kenshin at some point. I mean, he's literally like one of my absolute favorite characters. They introduced one of my favorite villains too in the last episode too. The Tenken Sojiro. Seta Sojiro. Who is inspired by the Shinsengumi samurai Okita Sojiro, or Okita Soji. He was the youngest captain of the Shinsengumi. I think he was maybe between 18 and 19 at that point in his life. He died very young, though. He died of tuberculosis. Saito versus Kenshin. Yes, that was the episode before that. The last week's episode. I think the 90s version did that fight better. So I think the 90s version also concluded the first season better. I might just be nostalgic. That's the series I saw first. But hey. Oh, and Steve's with the murder pixie for life. Yes. Cora has been a happy spot for me in my game. I can corrupt the minds of youth. It always makes me happy. So I got some stuff. I gotta like make a list, I think, of who I'm gonna draw and set that up. Might do a bunch of these 9x12 ones and print them off and ink them up and then gray tone them for sale. That could be good. I want to get back to doing conventions more. My energy levels are just high on the suck, so it makes it difficult. I want to add some speed lines to her. Yeah, kind of maybe this one there. Oops. Something like maybe. Yep, Cheetara. Yeah. Not really into those. The other thing I like about working digitally, undo. Undo and redo. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not really what I want. Okay. Mess with it later. Might do some stuff with it later, giving her like a bit of a speed line. I mean, I could put a burst in or something like that, but I don't know. This kind of works. Oh, it's just about it's a little bit over my 1 year anniversary with the Indie Comics Network too. Been here a year. Damn. Gotta say, good people. We got big plans for the year. I don't know what those plans are, but I know we have big plans for the year. What I'm probably going to do also is do a bit of a grayish background behind her too, like this. The dust / smoke will be kind of one color, then I'll have like another kind of a grayish tone to the back of it when I do it up. Now you got a friend from California, and he is here, and he's willing to spend Christmas here. Well, that's always nice. It's good to have people with you for Christmas. I highly approve. I have to resist the urge to put straps around it like Donatello's bow staff. It's kind of redundant. Bow staff. Basically, bow means staff. Yeah, whatever. I might also at some point try to draw Sanjuro from Yojimbo and Sanjuro, the movies, the Kurosawa movies that were portrayed by Toshiro Mifune. I definitely have to draw Satoichi at some point. My favorite Jitageki characters. Again, that's the silhouette of the piece, loosely. Oops, turned off the background. Sojiro versus Kenshin is a great fight, just like Sojiro's story. Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that. Sojiro is probably my second favorite character after Kenshin. I love Kenshin. Kenshin's my favorite, like, anime comic book character. He's up there with Spider-Man for me. But yeah, Sojiro is. I love him because of just how. Well, people watch the series, read the manga. His story is so dark. Oh, it's very good. And you understand why he always smiles. It's kind of creepy the way he does it too, because it's not like out of like a maliciousness or anything like that. He's just always smiling. And then you find out the reason. Trying to get some decent line weight in here. Sometimes have trouble getting line weight when I go digital. That's why I like the traditional inking better. So I can definitely get the line weight that I want. Wish they animate the revenge arc, because in the classic anime, they just did a movie, but it ain't like the style. No, the movie was interesting, but yeah, it wasn't the Jinchu arc. The third season of Kenshin is just better left not mentioning because of how bad it is. I mean, they literally got ahead of Watsuki, and it just kind of fell apart. Keep doing that. They should have waited for him. The good thing about the latest series is it's mostly no filler. I mean, the benefit of a series that was done in the 90s. And I think they do plan to do the Jinchu arc with the new stuff, which that should be good. I mean, the closest we've gotten to the Jinchu arc outside of it is the movie adapted it, and the second OVA, Reflections, did a little bit of the Jinchu arc, but not a lot. They just kind of touched on a few pieces. And the Reflections anime was very, very sad. It was good, but it was very sad. Granted, trust and betrayal, the Kenshin's origin story, was also very dark and sad, but that was amazing. And I will say that we did get a really cool animated version of the Janae fight with the Reflection series. So there was that, at least. Yeah, the cool thing about the OVA arc is we did get some really cool fights with Kenshin. And you saw just how deadly he was as the Hitokiri Batosai. I refuse to call him Manslayer Batosai. It just sounds cooler to say Hitokiri. I apparently missed a phone call. But then again, I do have this thing silenced. And I don't know anyone in Arlington, Tennessee, so probably Mr. Spam Likely. All right. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this one for now. I'll finish this up off stream, so I have to print it and do some other stuff, but pretty happy with it, the way it's come out. Hope, Steve, that you like it, if you're still with us. And I'll post the I'll shoot you over the grayscale picture too, so you can see it when I get it finished up the inks and printed out. When I go to print it, I do. Where is it? Oh, that'd be the problem. There we go. I'll print it out like this, and it'll be easier. I see red better when I like looking at red better when I ink. It's easier on my eyes, so I'll do that. So that being said, so this is what I'm currently been working on. This is my alternate cover for my Stray Cat manga that I'm working on, and this is inspired by a movie poster for Sword of Doom. When I actually color it, it will be basically like a 2 to 3 tone. It's going to be all the same kind of colors over it to match the Sword of Doom poster that I love that has I can't remember the lead character's name. Is played by Nita, though, who is he played opposite to Shomofune in a lot of different films. Usually he was a villain. He was a hero in a few of his own, but yeah, so I got Rin walking away. There's some dead samurai around. When I actually laid this out, at first there's a lot more dead samurai that were around, but these are the ones that kind of fit the shot best, so that's what I went with for my thumbnail. This is the first page. So I have the city of Shimoda, and I have people around and all that. Wanted poster for Rin. It kind of goes into why she's wanted. A few people there trying to get her. Oh. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. I have to take this landlord. My apologies. You want to redo the locks here, so. So that's the first page. This is not the finished pen. These are basically like my rough pencils and all that. I need to still ink it and everything, so you can see it's still kind of rough. And this is the page I'm actively working on. Get my silhouette shot because I love doing that type of thing. I have the sword roughed in and stuff like that, and there'll be a gout of blood shooting out of this when I'm done. Oh, thanks, Ephraim. I appreciate it. And blank page, another blank page. Then we got back to Cheetara. All right. Well, guys, I'm trying to ease back into streaming, so I'm actually going to bow out at this point. It's been an hour. Next week, we're going to do Zantana. Hopefully, I'll try not to do as much pre-work as I did this time for Cheetara, but so it came out pretty good. And I'll post some pictures of the final piece when I'm done with it, so people can see it. But I'd like to thank everyone that is here. Thank you, Refrain. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Jim. All you guys for participating. I'm glad you came by. And all of you have a wonderful day, and I should see you all next week. So on that note, I'm going to say bye.